History is full of wild stories, but have you ever heard of the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? No, this isn't a Monty Python sketch. This is the story of the Cadaver Synod, one of the most bizarre and macabre events in human history. Buckle up, because things are about to get weird. Our story begins in Rome, 897 CE. The city was a political mess, way more chaotic than your most awkward family Thanksgiving dinner. A few years earlier, Pope Formosus had died. Normally, that would be the end of someone's problems. But for Formosus, his troubles were just getting started. Enter Pope Stephen VI. Stephen had a serious grudge against the late Formosus, a political beef of the highest order. So, he came up with an idea so outlandish, so utterly bonkers, that it sounds like something from a fever dream. He decided to put the dead Pope Formosus on trial. Yes, you heard that right. It was like Weekend at Bernie's, but for the Catholic Church. Imagine the faces of the church officials when Stephen announced his plan. You're serious, right? You want to try a dead guy? And Stephen was dead serious. He ordered his men to go and dig up Formosus's 9-month-old corpse. Now, let's be clear. Embalming back then wasn't what it is today. The body was not fresh. Let's just say it smelled like a hot dumpster in July. But that didn't stop them. They dressed the decomposing body in full Papal robes, propped it up on a throne in the courtroom, and began the trial. This spectacle was officially called the Synodus Horrenda or the Cadaver Synod, because calling it the Corpse Courtroom Comedy Hour probably felt a little too on the nose. They even assigned a young deacon to speak on behalf of the corpse. Can you imagine getting that job? Your client is exceptionally quiet, Your Holiness. The poor deacon had to stand next to a rotting body and whisper, "It's not guilty, please." Pope Stephen VI acted as the prosecutor, screaming questions at the silent defendant. "Mr. Formosus, you are accused of being unfit for the papacy. How do you plead?" The only answer was the buzzing of flies. Stephen, apparently, took this as a confession. He yelled at the corpse, "Answer me, Formosus," while the rest of the court was probably just trying not to pass out from the smell. It was like watching a man argue with a skeleton at a Halloween party, except everyone was taking it seriously. The charges against Formosus were that he had broken church law by accepting the papacy and had been too ambitious. The irony, of course, is that conducting a trial with a corpse is about as illegal as it gets under canon law. It's like arresting someone for speeding while you're driving a lawnmower down the highway. Unsurprisingly, the verdict was guilty. Dead guys, as it turns out, don't have a great track record in court. And now, it was time for the punishment. They publicly stripped the papal robes from the corpse. Then, they took the 3 fingers Formosus had used for blessings and chopped them off. It was pure, vindictive theater. After this gruesome display, they declared all of Formosus's acts as Pope null and void. This meant any priest he had ordained was suddenly out of a job, like losing all your professional connections because your social media profile got deleted. But the humiliation wasn't over. They first buried the mutilated body in a common grave. Then, apparently deciding that wasn't dramatic enough, they dug it up again, and threw it into the Tiber River. It was a full-on mob-style disposal, just with more incense and chanting. The people of Rome, who were used to a certain level of political chaos, thought this was a step too far. Public outrage exploded. The citizens rioted, captured Pope Stephen VI, threw him in prison, and, in a final act of karmic justice, strangled him. The very next pope, Theodore II, immediately tried to undo the damage. He declared the Cadaver Synod a disgrace, ordered Formosus' body to be recovered from the river. Fishermen actually found it and brought it ashore and had it reburied with full honors in St. Peter's Basilica. You'd think that would be the end of it. But the debate over Formosus's legitimacy raged on for years, like a medieval internet flame war. Was he a true pope or not? Finally, the Church officially restored his name and declared all his acts valid, essentially giving him the posthumous blue checkmark of approval. To this day, historians look back at the Cadaver Synod as one of the most absurd trials in all of history. It was a power move by a petty and insecure pope that backfired spectacularly. It serves as a bizarre, gruesome reminder that sometimes reality is stranger than fiction, and it teaches us a valuable lesson. Maybe don't pick a fight with a dead person. History will roast you a lot harder than you could ever roast their corpse. Thanks for sticking with me through that wild ride into the past. If you enjoyed this dive into history's weirdest moments, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.